So these days, we're always looking at other ways and alternate media types that we can convey these stories through, and just try and get these ideas out to a broader mix of people around the world. Having said that, we love novels. We are going to do lots and lots of novels. We are going to just absolutely embrace the media types that we love most. But to just give you a sense of the future of publishing, we're going to try all sorts of weird things out. I'm thinking about animation, I'm thinking about, motion comics, all sorts of weird stuff. So guys, if you love these ideas, we're going to try and cast lines in the water for everybody, right? Because these ideas, I believe, need to be shared by everyone. So, having said that, I'm going to hand it off to New York Times best-selling author Mickey Nielsen.
So we can tag team this one if you like. We're going to talk about Book of Cain right here. So did you guys do the Diablo lore panel yet?
We did not.
Okay, when is that?
Should we just start singing to each other now?
As long as you keep caressing me, I don't care what we do. So go ahead. Here, hold that for me.
Guys, one of the latest publishing projects we've been working on with a good friend of ours named Flip Diller is Diablo Book of Cain. With the imminent arrival of Diablo 3, hopefully sooner rather than later, we wanted to put together a source book that really catalogs the history, the characters, the lands, and the mythology. Not bad. It's something you don't say.
Why is everyone staring at my lap?
I know what my reason is. So, control. Let's maintain control. So the Book of Cain, ladies and gentlemen, is an attempt to codify and clean up the history of the Diablo franchise in such a way we put it into this book that's essentially narrated by Deckard Cain. The idea in the game lore is that it's been about 20 years since Lord of Destruction, which was the last Diablo game product. I can't remember the year we put it out. Let's just say it was a long time ago. It's been about 20 years since Lord of Destruction, and Deckard Cain, the sage historian of the Diablo universe, has compiled a book of lore. He believes that an apocalypse is imminent after the events of Diablos 1, 2, and 2.5. He believes that the last lords of hell are up to some shenanigans, and then it's about to spill over into the mortal world. So Book of Cain here is an illustrated romp through the history of the Diablo universe as written by Deckard Cain and chock full of his own personal journal entries and his own theories about what's coming for the world of Sanctuary. With any luck, there's some level of smart continuity between it and the game we're about to publish. Is there anything else you think we should say about Book of Cain?
So the only other thing I wanted to add to that is if you guys want to check out this physical version, this is a mock-up that Pocket Books, or I'm sorry, Insight Edition has over at their booth right now. So it's over that way, a few halls over. If you guys want to go and check this out, you can flip through it. You can see all the artwork in here, everything. It's the book, except it's a mock-up, so it's a digital printed version of it.
And guys, I guess I would say we had so much fun making Book of Cain, ultimately like a very clear, here you go honey, a really clear codified history of the world of Diablo. We've been thinking about doing the same kind of treatment for Warcraft and Starcraft. I was going to ask if you guys have any interest in that kind of thing, but we're thinking about it anymore. I think that just gets to it. And if you can imagine the level of pain in the ass that would involve trying to get all that lore straight, good lord. But we had so much fun with this book, and we think you guys are going to love it and just love the story of Diablo, but we're keeping it in mind that we may want to do source books this way for all of our universes.
Okay, so next up, don't hit it just yet. We're going to build this up a little bit. I believe this is a first-time official announcement, so you guys are all here for this. Very exciting. Given the announcement this morning about Mists of Pandaria, it should come as no surprise that we will be bringing Pandemonium on the book And so here we have it. Pearl of Pandaria is the name of this book. This is being published through DC Comics. It's a hardcover graphic novel. As you can tell, the artwork is absolutely gorgeous. This is, the artist's name is Cheeks, and he's popular for, he was the main character designer on the Spider-Man cartoon, and as you can tell, his style is just a perfect fit for Pandaria and for this book and the tone of this book and everything else. So the story takes place pre-Cataclysm. There's going to be another story that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes that will bridge the events of this book, the end of this book, and the start of the next expansion.
And wasn't this written by a New York Times best-selling author?
It was, and this is one of the best stories you will ever read. I can say that without reservation. I'm a little bit biased because I wrote it, but yeah, it's.
I don't know if that's a New York Times best-selling author.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Let's make sure to get that. Oh, so moving on to Dark Riders, we announced this last year, I believe, at Comic-Con. Again, fantastic artwork by Neil Googe. The goal of this comic and the other one that James is going to talk about here in just a minute, it was we wanted to do Alliance and Horde graphic novels, and we wanted to really zero in on what it means to be Alliance. What does it mean to be Horde? So for the Alliance, you know, what we came up with was the Alliance is all about bringing light to the dark corners of the world, and so that's what this story is about. I'm very, very happy to say it's been a long time coming. It is almost done at this point. Pencils are pretty much done, and we're moving into colors, and so you guys will be seeing this here soon-ish. All right, James?
You know, before I talk about this Horde-centric book, is it possible for me to get a For the Horde? Oh, I've always wanted to do that. That was great. Like Mickey said, the purpose of these books is really to drill down and kind of get to the thematic roots of what it means to be Horde. And, you know, one of the compelling things about that Horde story to me was when I first rolled Horde, was always the fact that, you know, they're a group of outsiders. They're Azeroth's, you know, misplaced outsiders, the kind of freaks of Azeroth, in a sense, right? And I can relate to that.
Jesus.
But despite that, they come together and they formed a family, and it's a dysfunctional family, but it's a family that sticks together under one banner, right? And so we really wanted this